What's it been like? 4 years? Like it's been a long time. I'm just saying. Hey guys, it's your girl Tower Crush back with another review, and this time it is for The Handmaid's Tales on Hulu. Hulu, Hulu, Hulu. They're back. If you haven't already, please hit my subscribe button. Thank you. And this is going to be a review for season 5, episodes 1 and 2, because they dropped tonight. If you didn't know, tonight. So if you haven't watched them, get off of here. Go watch them. Come back to see me. Get off of here. Go watch. Come back to see me. Okay? Because I don't want to hear nothing. You spoiled it for me. I'm spoiling it. Okay? I'm reviewing the whole episodes. Okay? So here we go. Let's try to... Let me give you a very quick synopsis, catch up from the previous seasons. You know, they basically, I don't know, nuclear waste, something caused America to not be able to, you know, have a healthy environment enough to where women could be fruitful. And so they had a lot of sterilized women. And so they came up with this program called the Handmaids, and then renaming the whole country Gilead, and you know, making these women, these fertile women, you know, go to these families and actually mate with the husbands to make babies for the families to keep the population going. And you know, of course, it's against their will. They can die if they don't follow rules. It's just a whole lot, right? So June is the main character, the main dum-dum. I'm gonna call her the main dum-dum because she is a kick-ass female, but you know, she's dumb as I don't know what. She makes dumb, rash decisions, and she's already getting on my nerves, okay? So she was the handmaid for Fred and Serena. And they were the leaders pretty much of Gilead. And of course, women have no power in Gilead. They don't want to hear your mouth. They don't want to hear your opinion. They don't want to hear from you until they tell you they want to hear from you. And that's just how it was in Gilead. So Fred and Serena wound up getting caught because they were basically on the world stage, I guess, held for, you know, crimes. You know, from kidnapping to rape to all kind of charges. The Canadian government made a deal with the Gilead government to release like 22 refugees or 22 captives, you know, women, in exchange for him. So they were going to get him back, and they were going to take, Canada was going to give him back to Gilead, and Gilead was going to release 22 women, and they did that. But they set it up to where, you know, June could get to him, and actually all of them killed him, basically. Killed Fred. Of course, as you remember, Serena's pregnant, naturally. Then, of course, she, you know, had a baby with June. June actually got that baby back to Canada. That's Nicole. And, you know, so she's got her own baby now. But she didn't know they killed her husband. And so she's pissed about that. June gave her a clue that it was her because she basically cut off his ring finger and sent it to her. Now, I don't know what significance the ring finger had. I really don't. But Serena knew right away, okay, this wasn't nobody but June Osborne. And so she basically devised her plan. She said she wanted to bury her husband in Gilead, in the country he found it. And she talked him into letting her do it. It was a very small venue that they were going to eulogize him in, and she convinced the men of Gilead to go ahead and give him a grand exit and to televise it. She said that would cause them to, you know, basically look at Gilead in a lighter light instead of looking at them like, I don't know, Western Russians. I don't know the gist of it. So now, you know, June is trying to find herself. She's trying to figure out where her sanity is because she lost it somewhere. She's been looking for it, and she has a little bit of success trying to find it. But before we got that, I'm going to tell y'all, she was getting on my nerves. Like just in the beginning, her sitting there looking all crazy. I mean, they going to make this girl, if they don't do nothing, they going to make sure this girl make crazy faces, and they gonna make sure they zoom in on her crazy faces like, I don't understand why y'all feel like I got to zoom in on her. She is not like that. That is not what that is. She is not like that. Please stop it. So, she's got this way out her up ass, and she's got Luke there. He's trying to take care of her and the baby. She's drenched in blood and doesn't really know, isn't really speaking. And she leaves I don't know who killed somebody, right? You done killed somebody. You done came all the way home with their blood all over you, right? You gonna sit in the bathroom where you can clean yourself up and decide that you don't want to do that. You just want to leave right back out with the same blood all over you, right? Right. Okay, that's June. That's the type of stuff June does. Who leaves the freaking house with the victim's blood all over you? Well, she met up with some of the ladies that helped her execute that slaying. And the ladies that helped her slaying Fred were pretty much on an accord of, June, you're very selfish. We need to go back and we need to get Aunt Lydia because she did me bad, and that's the one that I want. We helped you get yours. You need to help us get ours. And they was basically telling her how folks went back, and she, that's started to make her feel away, because she is safe in Canada and her daughter is still in Gilead, still in the system, still caught up, right? So she's like itching to go back. They gave June her gun. They all had guns, and they were talking, and it was getting kind of heated because they feel like June is selfish, and she is. She always is. She thinks about herself and no one else. It's all about June, right? Right. So, they shot a gun off. I don't remember exactly why they shot it off. It just kind of made me look up. And they got in different cars, went different ways or whatever. So, June left and she eventually went somewhere and washed up because I guess she realized, girl, you look a mess. And she did. And she decided that they was right, that she was selfish and that she needed to do something about it. And so she went down to the police station. She called Luke to join her and basically let him know that she was basically about to turn herself in for killing Fred. And he was trying to talk her out of it, but of course, in true June fashion, no, I gotta do it. I can't live like that. I can't. I'm like, girl. So, long story short, she gets back there. They can't keep her because they killed him in no man's land. So Canada can't do anything with her. Just because she confessed the murder, it wasn't done on their grounds. They can't really do anything about it. So Serena was moved from her quarters to a safer location and then alerted that her husband was murdered. And after giving some of the details and basically alerted that his finger was delivered to her, she knew it was June. And, from there, she requested to bury him in Gilead, the country he found in. So Serena's planning out the funeral and everything. And they got, she got them to broadcast the funeral, which to me was definitely a slap in the face to all the ones who were injured by them and hurt by them. But whatever. And she definitely, when she got there, accused them of setting Fred up. Said to Fred, there was no way that June could have gotten to him without help because of how tight security was. And so she's not dumb. She knew they had something to do with it. And definitely let them know she knew. And, I'm Lydia, still mean, still nasty, still a bitch. But she still got Janine as her right hand woman. And Janine Patchwork, she's basically grooming Emily to go and be, I guess, the Putnam's handmaid. Now, mind you, she tried to be the Putnam's handmaid. She gave them their first child. And of course, she's been crazy over this child ever since. She doesn't want to really give the child, she doesn't really want them to keep the child, and she wants to have a bond with the child, and that's just not the way this thing goes. So now she's trying to get Emily in there so that she can be closer to her baby. Not a good thing. So Emily goes and she meets the Putnams. Then the Putnams also agreed to allow Serena to, have the wake there at their home because they were all really, really, really good friends. And so she did, and they took her, they took Emily to the back to meet with the husband. And she did for a second, and then he told everybody to leave, including Aunt Lydia. And I don't know exactly what he did to her, but he gave her a chocolate ball. She was eating it. I don't know if she liked it, but she kept eating little bites of it, eating little bites of it. I don't know if she was scared or what. And it kind of went off. Later on, we see that she goes back to, her quarters with Janine, and they're talking or whatever. And she offers Jean a chocolate ball, and they're talking, and she eventually goes off. She tells Janine that she hates her, that she was just using her, just like everybody else is using her, and she doesn't like it, and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, what is wrong with you? Because she starts seeing blood come out of Emily's mouth. And Emily's like, nothing. And she goes to get up to go get help, but Emily pulls her back, and then she starts choking. So they both choking on their own blood. And I don't know if they're gonna die or not, but I think they do. I think at least Emily dies. I don't know if Janine is going to die, but if not, she's gonna be real messed up. And I mean, for June to be that, I mean, not June, I'm sorry, for Janine to be that happy and chipper in her situation with one eye, you know, buddying up to the woman who gave her one eye is beyond me. I really, I don't understand it at all. Not me, I don't understand it. But that's where she is with it. So now she's fighting for her life, and Lydia's trying to save them the best way that she can. I don't know if she's going to be successful because, heck, that could have happened last, I don't know. I don't know when that was supposed to happen, but because you wouldn't think that they bring somebody back to a whole season to be gone in 2 episodes, never to be seen again. So I don't know. Maybe they'll be back. Maybe they won't. We'll just have to see. Okay, and so we saw June actually. We saw Serena getting ready for the funeral in all black. She had on a little hat with a little veil. So she puts on her Sunday's best, or her funeral best, and June puts on all white. So it's a very strong contrast because she had been acting all crazy. Ruby done told her she didn't really trust her around the baby. She had been acting all crazy with that crazy look in her eyes. She was trying to pull it together, and I guess date night with her and Luke was the first step to pulling it together because she absolutely, went to a ballet with Luke, and they had a great time. She was moved by the ballet. They came out of the ballet theater, and he was like, so what do you say we do a second date? And she's like, back off. I was like, cute, right? And so they're walking, and it looks like, I mean, we know they're in Toronto, but it looks like Times Square, really, to me, with all the jumbo video screens. And she looked up and she realized that his funeral was being broadcast on those screens because she kissed Luke like this. Because she was kissing Luke like this. Right? And after she got kissing Luke, she looked up at the screen and she's like, what the She looks up, and so then Luke looks, and they both looking and studying. And mind you, they in Gilead. Who else is in Gilead? Hannah. Hannah. And so as she's looking at the screen, she sees the wench, walking with her black and her veil on and everything. And she's like, this grand exit for this piece of SHIT. And she looks and looks, and then somebody brings Serena a bouquet of white roses. And she's sitting there holding the roses, and the little girl turns around, and that be daggone if it ain't Hannah. And she knew what she was doing, even using Hannah for that particular situation. She smirked in the camera because she knew June would be watching. Like, yeah, one you, one me, honey. We tied. We tied. I'm right here with your baby. What you gonna do about it? I'm gonna kiss her on the forehead and everything. Don't you wish you can kiss your baby on the forehead? I just did. It was easy too. It was easy. So, that was pretty much how the episodes ended. And I want to predict and think that she gonna try to stay in Gilead. I really feel like Serena gonna try to stay in Gilead. She ain't gonna try to come back to Toronto at all. She feel like she had power in Gilead, but honey, you ain't got no power without no husband. You don't have any power without a husband because you are back to woman suffrage in the worst way. So now that you are fertile, do you really want to be in Gilead? Because you don't have a husband. They're going to make you a handsmaid. You better take your butt back to Canada. Take your butt back to Canada so you can be murdered properly. Okay? Okay. So it's going to go down. I think the season is going to be, I think it's the last season, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so they've got all season to kill her, but I need her dead at the end of the season. If this is it, I need her Deadington. Okay? All right. But again, so I sincerely do appreciate you all for being here. I will be covering the entire season. I hope you liked my review. Like, comment, share. I do answer comments pretty quickly, so don't be afraid to leave one. And again, if you haven't already, please hit my subscribe button. But again, you don't have to subscribe. If you don't, you watch the video. That's important as well. So either way, you're appreciated, but you're more appreciated if you subscribe and you watch. Then I'm like, oh, they really supporting. So yeah, that's about it for me. And I see you guys next Tuesday. And Latif, my $5.02. Peace.